UFC 324 is absolutely stacked. And although I'm late to the party, I did want to give my take on some of the fights that are going down in January that we're getting from the UFC. And I might give a little bit of a hot take at the end. I don't know how many people are going to agree with me on this one, but what we're going to do is we're starting with the Tape Gautier and Andre Puliev, starting at the very bottom of the card, just giving my reaction. I think Tape Gautier is going to do what he's been doing, knock him out in the first round. This guy's a freak. He is going to go far. He's probably the most dangerous prospect we have at middleweight, and I'm excited to see what he does. Other than that, we got Umar Nurmagomedov versus Davison Figueiredo. I'd like to say this is the number one contender fight, but it is only if Umar Nurmagomedov wins this fight. If Davison Figueiredo wins, he's got like one or two more to still get to another title shot. Although, with how bantamweight's looking right now, I don't know how many more options we have. If Merab just keeps running through these guys, to be quite honest. I think if Umar wins handedly, then he'll get the next title shot. But, we're looking at Merab Yan, and then if Yan wins, then we're looking at potentially Merab rematch. Sean's still in the mix. Depending on if Yan wins or not, we get a lot of stuff going on at bantamweight. But ultimately, I think if Umar wins this fight, they're going to give him the Merab rematch next. Maybe on the White House lawn in July. So that would be interesting to see. I am going to pick Umar Nurmagomedov for this fight, though. Arnold Allen, Gene Silva. Super excited for this one. This is going to be an absolute scrap. Arnold Allen is going to shatter his hands. Gene Silva is probably going to knock him out, but I'm always going to root for the underdog, and I think Gene Silva is going to be a sizable favorite here, actually, against Arnold Allen. Prediction-wise, I am going to take Gene Silva. I do think he probably is going to knock him out. Unfortunately, Arnold Allen, he is too strong for his own good, and although he loves getting into scraps and everything, it's just he compromises himself sometimes and ends up losing. But it's going to be a fun fight. This is going to be an absolute banger to watch. This is going to be guaranteed action. I'm excited for this one. Now, we got Waldo Cortez Acosta and Derek Lewis. Waldo Cortez Acosta, I don't know why. He has everything, all the elements I should like about him. He knocks people out. He's decent on the mic. He's active. I just don't like him for some reason, man. I do like Derek Lewis. I really like Derek Lewis. What I think is probably going to happen is Waldo is going to, distance box him. He's going to maybe try and slip in with a couple knockout shots. But for the most part, I think he's going to try and keep the distance. And obviously Derek Lewis is going to, fade in and out, look for that big knockout punch. This one's going to end in a finish. And Waldo's going to be the favorite here. I'm going to roll with the Black Beast for this one. I think he's going to get it done. I think he's just too high level. Waldo. Shamil Gaziv, he's not Derek Lewis. We're looking at two different things here. Maybe he's earned this step up, but it might be a step up a little bit too soon. Moving on, Sean O'Malley and Song Yadong. I love this fight. I love Sean O'Malley. I can't wait to see him against another striker, finally. I'm not upset that they gave him the Merab rematch necessarily. I don't think he had earned it so much, but I do think he's going to need maybe one. Not one. Let me not get ahead of myself. He's going to need 2 or 3 more fights, wins, to get back to the title shot. Obviously, it could play out differently if they like Jan. Jan wins. They want that rematch for the belt, but I think he needs 2 or 3 more to make it legit. People are just not going to respect him other than that. Song Yadong, good fighter. I mean, beat Cejudo. Was it Cejudo? Yeah, he beat Cejudo. But nothing that tells me he's going to win over Sean. I know Sean hasn't looked the best in his last 2 fights, but they're against the greatest bantamweight that's ever lived, apparently, in Merab. So I do like Sean in this fight. I am going to take Sean O'Malley by 3rd round knockout, although this would be a fun fight to see go 5, which obviously I don't think there's any chance of that. Moving on to an actual 5-round championship fight here. We'll get to the main event in a second. But we got Kayla Harrison on deck, Amanda Nunes. Not much more needs to be said about this fight. Everyone kind of knows that this is probably for the women's MMA GOAT status. This one is, it's big. I don't see a lot of people super, super hyped over this fight, but they should be. I mean, this is Kayla Harrison. She used to fight at 155, so this is unbelievably impressive. We know what she went through with the weight cut last time. And then Amanda Nunes obviously coming back for retirement is a huge story. What I think will happen I think Kayla Harrison is gonna be. She'll win by decision. I got Kayla Harrison by decision. Honestly, she's gonna be just too skilled in too many areas. She's got the judo background, and obviously Amanda Nunes has just taken too much of a break. I think maybe the time off is not going to do her so well, but we'll see. She is the greatest UFC women's fighter of all time, so we are going to get a good fight regardless. They wanted to put on the best women's fight of all time. I'm not upset about it. So now we get to the main event. Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett for the interim lightweight title. Justin Gaethje coming off that split decision with Fiziev. I get you a title shot, I guess. And Paddy Pimblett beat Michael Chandler and Tony Ferguson. I like Paddy. I do. Gaethje's been pissing me off with this whole give me a title shot or else I retire kind of thing. And it looks like it kind of worked. He's going to get what he wants. And then if he beats Paddy, he's got a good chance at fighting Ilya again on the White House card, which is probably his ultimate goal for his career. That would be the pinnacle of Justin Gaethje's career. But he's complained himself into this shot after we saw Arman Tsarukyan finish Dan Hooker. So what people have been saying, obviously, it's maybe not the most deserving contenders. I would even argue that Oliveira Holloway would be better as a lightweight interim title bout. But, this is the fight that the UFC has chosen to go with. These are the big names. Paddy, obviously, they're trying to push Paddy. They're trying to get that market. And then they do hope Gaethje is going to get this win because they do want him on that White House card. And they're going to want violence with Ilia Topuria, which I think he gets absolutely slumped by Ilia Topuria. But for this one, I don't know that he gets slumped by Paddy Pimblett, but Paddy is going to finish him. We're going to watch the same thing that happened with Michael Chandler. He's going to mix it up too well. He's going to get that ground and pound going, and I think he's just going to overwhelm Justin Gaethje as Justin Gaethje nears the end of his career. So I think Paddy Pimblett will be your lightweight interim champion. Probably, maybe they still want Ilya on the White House card regardless of who it's against. That's still a huge name, huge marketing, and Paramount just seems to want the biggest names possible. So we could see Paddy versus Ilya on that White House card if it does happen. Other than that, lightweight needs to kind of take a look at itself. This is what happens when you sit on your ranking, man. You need to fight and prove that you're the number one contender, and there won't be controversy. So we're going to go ahead and move on to 325, the main event that's just been announced, Volkanovski and Lopes 2. This is going to be my hot take of the night. I love that the UFC made this fight. Let me explain. Diego Lopes went to a I'm not going to say very close decision because he did lose probably 4 rounds against Volk the first time, but it was a close decision. It was a hard-fought decision. It was pretty much, it was a banger. It was a war. So, loses. Obviously, is not the champion, so he's going to have to get a couple more fights to get to the belt. Gene Silva, probably your most up-and-coming surging prospect in the division. He goes out there and knocks him out in 2 rounds, absolutely dismantles Gene Silva, completely shuts him down. There was some close moments, but Gene Silva is obviously a power puncher, and he's very technical and very precise. But Lopes made quick work of him. And what are we looking at with Lerone Murphy? Before knocking out Aaron Pico, who's known to have kind of a glass chin, he has gone to decision in, was it all of his UFC fights? Did he have a finish? I'll pull it up later, but all I can remember from Lerone Murphy's decisions, Movsar Evloev, dude, I don't even remember the last time he fought. No, I do. He beat Aljo in 2024. It wasn't even this year. You think they want these guys as champions? Lerone Murphy's exciting. You could maybe say he deserved it next, but I think Lopes is just better than him. So for people saying it's not the best on best, I think Diego Lopes is the second best. He is just the champion B right now of the division. Volk is a featherweight GOAT, and he went to a solid decision with him. Beat Gene Silva, a surging contender. Obviously, he was ranked number 11 at the time. But we all know he would beat many of the guys in the top 10. But Diego Lopes went out there, earned it, put on a good performance, is active, is good on the mic. He is what the UFC wants in a champion, and it's what I want in a champion. You guys want Movsar Evloev as your champion for this division after what we just saw with Khamzat and Islam? Granted, Islam is Normally those guys put on more exciting fights, but Movsar, I mean, why is Aljo even in this picture, bro? I get he's a former champ, and I get that's a big name, and if you want to do like a legacy fight kind of thing, but then if you guys are complaining about best on best, that doesn't make sense either. I think Diego Lopes is the best one we could have picked for this fight. Now, you could say it's too soon because Volk just fought him last time, but whose fault is that? I know Volk took a ton of damage, but that just shows you how powerful Lopez is. Volk has not fought since then. I don't know that it matters who he's fought. I think Diego Lopez has earned this one. I think he's been at the top for a while. And he's most exciting, and I think he'd be the best as champion besides Volk. I'm happy about this fight. I am a Diego Lopez propaganda machine. So that's my hot take for the night. I hope the other fights are, live up to the hype that we deserve as UFC fans at this point. I think it's time for an absolute banger of a card. Qatar was nice. We've had some good cards, but hopefully the Paramount delivers, man. We'll see. But yeah, I just wanted to give my thoughts, my takes. Although it's a little late, I just wanted to get a video out there. It's just fun. I haven't done a video in a while, so thought I'd do it now. But hopefully I'll see you guys again in the future, and hopefully you get some exciting fights. Peace.